The reason our southern border and our northern border here in Vermont are so important to me is because of all of the human suffering I've seen in the last 13 years. This year, I celebrated 13 years in recovery. I can't count the number of people I know or have heard about dying of drug overdoses or suicides. And here in Vermont, we had the highest increase in overdose deaths around the country. We have some of the highest drug abuse. And now, with countries like China shipping enough fentanyl across our border to kill every single American, it seems as though all drugs are being laced with fentanyl now. They're putting it on marijuana to make it more addictive. They've got things that look like candy that are actually fentanyl. There are fake Xanaxes and other drugs that are made to look like things like Xanax, but they're actually fentanyl, and people are dying. Kids who are not drug addicts taking what they think is just a pain pill from a friend of theirs. People are dying. Our neighbors are dying. And I can't stand by and let the United States government be passive in their death. While some of our elected officials like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez believe that it's a good thing that all these people are coming here, they believe that we need the immigration. Some of them even say things like we need them to pick the crops and clean our toilets, which to me is absolutely sick and racist, and I'm not sure they understand what they're saying, but they believe that it's a good thing that people are coming here. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that they're right. Is it worth the cost? Many women and children in particular, but we're seeing it with the young boys and men too, are being raped and sexually assaulted repeatedly on their travels here to the United States. Is that okay? Do we condone that? Do we sanction that? Do we encourage that as American people by saying that our border is wide open?
We are on our way back to the area we were last night that runs across the Rio Grande, where there are known crossing points where we saw people on the other side of the river yesterday. So we're going to see if we see anybody crossing. Also, we were told that there's a National Guard station up here, or Army Guard station of some kind. It's military people with Humvees who are transporting migrants. One of the locals said that every morning around 4 or 5, a bus picks up migrants and takes them somewhere. So we're going to see if we can see the transport.
What they don't understand, these elected officials, they are encouraging and creating victims by saying, yes, come here. Yes, be an asylum seeker. What they're actually saying is, be prepared to be sexually assaulted, raped, and abused on your way here. But when you get here, we'll take you. And I just think that that's a really sick thing to do to another human being. To pretend like there is this salvation, that there are people here waiting for you and everything is going to be fine. It's a lie.
So we are on the road that we were driving down earlier, where we saw people across the river they were going to cross. And so this right now, that man is sleeping along the border fence. So this is the border fence that they talk about, and that man is sleeping there. And probably about a half a mile or a mile down the road is where the checkpoint was with the guard members, where they said there's a bus that picks people up.
Yeah, and that's it. If you got a soda or something moving around, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
You've seen this your whole life, so you're from here.
Right.
Okay, so you're from here.
Right.
And you've always known that there was dope running across the border.
I mean, as far as, the age of knowledge, where you start really noticing things.
Like paying attention.
Yeah, going through town, people sell drugs.
Yeah.
Like, you see that all over the place. Like I told you earlier, we lived out, like we didn't live out here, but we partied out here all the time as kids. So we knew a lot of the stuff that was going on. You know, people in our age group, they were always like, somebody got caught at the border for, he ran the border with a whole bunch of dope in the car. He was our age, cost like $2 million worth of damage to the port of entry.
Oh my God.
Out there at the lake. He did his time and everything, but things like that.
I'm trying to imagine what it must be like to just know that there's like a bunch of illegal stuff happening in your town all of the time.
Go to any hood in the United States of America and ask anybody that question.
So do you think it'd be the same kind of like
The only difference
environment?
is right now is that the spotlight is on us because of the volume.
Right.
And because everybody's saying they're illegal coming across. Mm-hmm. That is the only difference. Let's go, you're talking about major cities.
Yeah.
Go to New York.
New York.
Right, stuff like that. You go to any hood, you got kids that are 4 or 5 years old that know that guy's a dope man. It's the same thing here. Same thing anywhere. Any city you go to, if there's drugs involved anywhere around it,
Yep.
there's going to be a kid somewhere that knows it, that's going to grow up their entire life knowing this is the drug world. All around the world.
So what were some of our takeaways? Well, one is I now understand why people say that the southern border wall is probably a waste of money. I can tell you that that chain link fence with the razor wire on the top does absolutely nothing, but maybe help funnel some people down the street. You saw all the patch jobs from where they just cut the wire. You also only have to walk about a quarter of a mile down the road to find an opening on someone's property. You're already on the American side when you encounter the fence. So this section really has no deterrence factor. Now, the nicer, fancier fence closer to the border crossing honestly just seems like it's for show rather than anything else. I remember being told stories about how some people would try to climb the fence to get over, and what happens is they'll fall down and break legs or break ankles and things like that. Then they're kept at the hospital where a Border Patrol agent has to stand guard 24 hours a day while those people heal.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of this fence?
Trash.
Stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Yeah, absolutely no sense. It doesn't serve any purpose because you can still go around it, quote unquote.
Oh, and what did the tell us? The guy up there at the road, he said the purpose it serves is really just to keep the cattle in on this guy's land.
It's interesting to hear the different sides of whether or not the border wall is actually effective. And what it sounds like is it's not.